stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop, let this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. Get your lick back. If a nigga owe you something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop, let this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. I feel like I'm JX. J-Way. I'm a perfectionist. Adderall got me restless. I'm gone. Run with a wild crew, they get reckless. Young boy, come up off that neck. Into the trends. See you, Lee, be the best.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of Corner to Copa. I am here with my co-host, Coach, and this is the opening week of opening day has now concluded. The Tigers are 2-1. They had some good offensive output the first couple of days, and then, of course, we get blanked in the final game on Saturday evening. I'll be glad when we're playing regular games at 7 o'clock or day games. Day games are cool too. But yeah, we leave out of San Diego with a opening week win. What did you see, Coach?
You know, obviously, I think we were all excited. Game 1 and 2, some offense, some good pitching. McGonigal debuted as good as damn near anyone that we've seen in our lifetime, and the crazy stat that was pulled with his 4-hit performance. The only two players to have done that in their debut of 4 hits and be younger were Delino DeShields and Ken Griffey Jr. in the last 100 years. So, you know, again, we want to temper expectations, but that's kind of obviously you can't ignore that. But, you know, he's really kind of carried us in that first series, as we'll get into a little bit later on in the show, a little bit more of the details. We need some of the rest of the guys to kind of pick it up. But, I mean, pitching, whether it was the rotation or the bullpen, as advertised, locked down pretty much. 1 or 2 hiccups for, I think, Drew Anderson had a rough debut, but nothing really impactful in that first game because we put up 8 runs. So, yeah, a little bit of everything so far.
Yeah, the pitching has been the bright spot for sure, which is funny to say because, I mean, 8 runs and 5 runs in the first 2 games, that's not too bad. That's pretty much what you would ask for, plus some. But honestly, yeah, we only gave up 2 runs twice, 8 and 2, 5 and 2, and then we gave up 3 in the last game. One thing I'm seeing is that the defense is going to be put to the test. Obviously, with a guy like Framber Valdez, he's gonna create a lot of ground balls. So it's gonna put a lot of pressure on our defense to, make some plays. I think we lost a couple runs. The couple runs that we did lose, some of them were due to just errant throws by the catcher. Well, I'll say one was an errant throw by the catcher for sure, and it was on the snap throw by Dingler to first base that overshot Torkelson, and Jackson Merrill was able to advance. And then yesterday, Jake Rogers threw down a second, and it looked like Glaber just misplayed it, just dropped it for Flaherty. So, there hasn't been, outside of Drew Anderson giving up that home run. And I will say the Padres had some warning track power. A couple of times I thought the ball was going out, and Green was able to catch it on the warning track, and I think Carpenter caught one on the warning track as well. So we kind of got blessed there. But all in all, I can't complain too much. We kind of talked about it offline. Flaherty, I mean, he only went 4 2/3 and threw 80 some pitches. So it wasn't a squeaky clean effort from him. He got some help from the bullpen. Connor Seabold has been really good. He went 2 1/3 yesterday. Yeah, Flaherty had 4 walks, so not ideal, but I like what I see overall from our top 2, if nothing else. Jansen got a save yesterday. Did he have 2 saves? How many opportunities?
No, first game was too much of a run differential to qualify.
Right, and then we lost yesterday. So yeah. So just yesterday, but I think that Finnegan has been clean. I think Vest has been clean as well. Um, so yeah, let's talk about the offense though. We went into the year, and my biggest concern was the middle of the lineup. They had a quiet spring. Green, Carpenter, Torkelson, and they have carried that right along into the despite the fact that we have put up a decent amount of runs in the first couple games, they've kind of carried that trend into the regular season. Now we've had a lot of base runners. The Padres pitchers have been walking a lot of guys. Even our biggest threat last game was in the first inning, I want to say, where a couple of our guys walked and we just couldn't convert on it. But because I think Kerry had a couple. He had 2 walks in game 2, which I guess is what you want from your leadoff hitter. He went 0. So he went 0 for 5 game 1. He had 2 walks in game 2, and then I think he went 0 for 3 before he got pulled in game 3. So, we're getting walks. Riley's walked at least a couple times as well. Torque, I'm not so worried about. He actually tied the game at 1 in game 2, and he just missed a home run yesterday. He's made some pretty good contact. I would say my biggest concern right now is Kerry. He has yet to get a hit this series. I think Riley had a infield single, but yeah, it's been the bottom of the order. Dingler, obviously McGonigal, he's batting 6, which I think AJ is going to keep him there. I think he's comfortable with that. I think he doesn't want to, I don't think he wants to expose McGonigal too much early on, but I think you agree with that he's good where he's at, and everybody else around him is just going to have to step up. We're not ready to put him in that leadoff position. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, anywhere but 3 through 5. Like, we don't need to put the kind of pressure on the kid, because let's be real. If we have to do that, if it push comes to shove and that ends up happening, we're in big trouble. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, he's 20 years old, and he's obviously, handling, the position that he's in well. And over time, that that may be something that we can look into, but at this point, I think that that's why you have vets. The rookie shouldn't have to. You also said he's probably never going to be at 30. Well, I don't know about the 100 home runs part, man. I mean the 100 RBI part. But yeah, 30 home runs, that may be a lofty expectation for him. He should have 1 home run right now. He was robbed by Jackson Merrill, and that was kind of funny to see their exchange. He was like, "Hey, you hit 4 yesterday. You had 4 hits yesterday. It's not going to be all roses and bubbles." But yeah, he's putting the league on notice immediately. He's already somebody that you're going to have to game plan for, and yeah, going into game 3, I think he had the most hits in the major leagues, which isn't hard to do when you have 4 in the first game. So had a rough game. Had a rough game yesterday. He fell victim to not utilizing the ABS system because he's got a really, really good eye. The ump kind of seemed like he had a pretty big strike zone, but I think he was a little shy about challenging the umpire on that first one, because it was a pretty obvious, low ball. And then, of course, in the 9th inning, he does challenge it, and it was a strike. So, He'll learn to, trust himself and be more confident. I feel like it's probably just because he's a rookie and doesn't want to set a bad precedent with the umps, but he's not going to chase very much. So when they call those questionable strikes, he's going to have to trust himself. So, did you get a chance to check to see? Because I think it was either Dingler or Torque had a challenge in the last inning, and neither one of us, it didn't work for either one of them.
I didn't see that. I just know like Torkelson's last at bat, including the one he struck out looking on, didn't challenge, and it was clearly a ball, like a full ball and a half below the zone, and he opted not to. So, but to your point about McGonigal and the ABS, I think it'll come with just more visual reinforcement. He'll go back and look at the video and just and gauge it against his instinct of what he thought in real time at that moment. And that's when he'll get the confidence to eventually start, challenging some of those borderline ones. But back to the point about McGonigal in the lineup. I mean, if he continues to hit, I mean, I don't know how eventually he doesn't maybe get to the top of the lineup to leading off. But, it's not like it's a huge need. I just think it's a flexibility with him. He's got some very good quickness. So you think he got clocked at like 18, 19 miles an hour, top sprint speed, rounding first in one of his doubles in game one. So it looks like he might have the chance to be a guy that can get some bags, So we'll see how that kind of plays out. I'm not going to say that he's a 20, 25 stolen base kind of guy. But yeah, I mean, at that sixth spot, if those middle of the lineup guys like Carpenter, for love of God, get him out of the leadoff spot. That we need to end that experiment permanently with him. It's a crime against what he's capable of producing, quite frankly. And but and looking at it, because Glaber's always number two pretty much in the two hole. I'll take my chance with Glaber. He's way less likely to put one out of the park than Carey. So yeah, I mean, those guys combined, Torque, Green, Carpenter, first three games, not good. 3 for 34, 5 runs, 14 strikeouts, 5 walks, most of which came in game 3. But to your point, that why people want to see already McGonigal get into one of those spots is because those guys are walking. I'm like, well, yeah, but these are your actual power producers. These are the guys that are 25, 30 home run proven that they can do it, plus home runs. And those are the guys that need to get you there. Because if we're rearranging the heart of the lineup out of just pure necessity, to what I said earlier, they're not even probably looking at the playoffs. That's the reality of it, because they struggled with offense last year, especially down the stretch in the playoffs. We know that, anemic at times, clutch hits, but their pitching got them through. So they need to somehow get it together. Because as easy as this division is, we have not won it in each of the last 2 years. We've been a wild card team. So it ain't, signed, sealed, and delivered that hell will even get into the postseason, but the offense has to get it together. San Diego is not a chump rotation. All right. I'll say that. Obviously we got skunked in the last game, but yeah, those 3 guys need to get it together. I think right now, Colt Keith, Dingler, and McGonigal have really been the only guys that kind of done more of anything. And Dingler and McGonigal have the only 3 extra base hits for the entire team right now.
Yeah. So we'll give it a couple more series before we make any rash decisions. But yeah, a part of me feels like they're protecting Carey from those high leverage on base situations, because he was pretty bad last year in those type of at bats up until maybe, I guess you can say, the playoffs. But yeah, definitely not ideal for him to be batting leadoff. Glaber's been getting on base. He's been mostly taking walks, I'll say. Maybe he has a couple of hits, but if Carey's not getting on base anyways, essentially he's your de facto leadoff hitter anyway. So you're not really helping yourself in that way. But yeah, I think that you see McGonigal move up into the leadoff before you see him in a 3-hole. There's some changes that need to be made if he is forced into the 3-hole. But yeah, all in all, we did put up some runs. So it's not like we did get shut out in the last game, but yeah, we still put up 8 and 5 runs. That was the 10 pitch at bat from McGonigal that resulted in the 2-run single. That was a really massive. That's what you want out of him, especially this early in the game. So that was exciting to watch. But we'll see what we do in Arizona, which is the next series. So let's get to the first break, and then we'll see what's been going on in the minor leagues. All right, so the debut in AAA was on Friday, I believe. Pull this up. So as of right now, the Mud Hens are 0-2. Yeah, Friday. They lost 5-2 on Friday, with the highlight of the game being Wenceel Perez, who hit a home run. He went 2 for 5. And Corey Jokes went 2 for 3 with a hit, with 2 hit. Yeah, 2 for 3 with an RBI single. So not a lot of offense as of yet. Max Clark went 0 for 3, but he did have 2 walks. Yeah. So yeah, 5-2 was the first game, and then we got shut out yesterday. So slow start for the Mudhead Bats. I expect that as it gets warmer that we should see more action, because we do have a pretty solid lineup altogether. Max Clark did have a nice outfield assist in the second game, but yeah, not too much offense. Obviously, you get shut out 1-0. These are pretty cold, miserable games. You've been umping, so you know how the weather's been in the Midwest, but yeah. Not too much going on. Where were you at yesterday? Did you ump yesterday?
We didn't have any. Spring break started for high school, so there were some other, I think, scrimmages, some other games. They were playing up at Central yesterday morning, and it was not even 25 degrees by like 10 a.m., which normally would not permit them to play at all. It's below their allowable temperature to play, because I had my game Friday canceled, a Brother Rice game, but it was going to be like 35 degrees, just way too cold. And I think we woke up Saturday, it was like mixture of like snow and hail pellets on the ground. It wasn't even snow, but it was pellets. That's how you know it was freezing. But yeah, it's been up and down. It's going to get to like 70 tomorrow. Thunderstorms Tuesday. It's going to drop right back down to like 40 on Wednesday. And hopefully for us on Friday heading downtown, it'll be tolerable enough. It ain't going to be Miggy hitting a home run into actual big snowflakes Friday, but yeah, it's April whatever showers in Michigan, whatever you want to call it. It's crazy, but yeah, it's Tigers have been down south for a while now, and so after coming home, it'll be a little bit of a shock to, I'm sure, some of the other guys, but yeah. They head to Arizona, where we can run down the probables real quick. It'll be Justin Verlander making his return debut on Monday against Michael Soroka. Game 2 Tuesday will be Casey Mize against Brandon Pfaadt. The P is silent. And the rubber match the day game will be Skubal against Zach Gallen to round that one out before the home opener on Friday, with Framber Valdez making his Detroit home debut in his home opener. And more notably, Verlander's home opener will be on Sunday night NBC baseball against the St. Louis Cardinals.
All right. So what do we have? What's going on around the league? We're only 3 games in, but there's obviously been some hot starts and some interesting storylines. What's standing out to you so far?
The Yankees got a clean sweep. I'm hoping Judge has a regression. I just can't see any Yankees after that horrible WBC outing that he had. But the other notes were the Chase DeLauder, the rookie for the Guardians, right fielder. Guy's got 4 bombs already. He's looking like he's going to challenge McGonigal for Rookie of the Year. And as of updated odds this morning, they're neck and neck. He shot way up the odds list, if you will. So someone to keep in mind. We're hoping it's not another Tiger killer, but 4 home runs in Seattle is not easy because it's been voted one of the harder places to hit visiting teams, just purely because of the aesthetic backdrop that Safeco or whatever it's called now produces out there. So they're 2-1 right now, including an extra innings win. So he's off to a good start. Toronto, you mentioned the other day, right before opening day, they put a bunch of players, including a couple of pitchers, on the IL. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out with an already chaotic AL East that, in fact, they anticipate everyone to be competitive in this year. But the combination of Dylan Cease and Kevin Gausman had 23 combined strikeouts in their first starts of the year, including Gausman striking out the side at one point. So they continue to rally around Vladdy and his extension for this year. So we'll see what happens with them. Dom Smith for the Braves had a walk-off grand slam against the Royals, where Salvador Perez continues to just keep on plugging away. Had a solo bomb that game down there in Atlanta. That was interesting. And I think also, too, Yordan Alvarez hit a moonshot in Houston the other night. It was so high and the roof was partially open that it hit one of the catwalks or something below the top of the roof inside. And it actually nullified it as a foul ball. Otherwise, it would have gone over 500 feet into the third row. They projected it at, but ended up just being unfortunately a foul ball of all things. So that was wild to see. Speaking of ABS, the Reds and Red Sox game yesterday, I'm not one to really too much badmouth officials or umpires, but when it's bad, it's got to be called out. And CB Bucknor probably will have one of the worst games for ABS in terms of having calls overturned against him. And then he threw out a player for arguing balls and strikes. Like, dude, you had almost 10. Cincinnati was 5 for 5 through 3 innings. Imagine that. 5 for 5. They challenged you for 3 innings and they got them all right. Dude was annoyed as hell, and then he throws someone out on top of it, and then he calls out some horrible strike 3 or check swing call. Wasn't close. Didn't even ask for help. It's like, look, we had the issue with Angel Hernandez, right? We had to get rid of him, or he went away. I mean, sorry, CB, but this is what it's in place for. Immediate feedback, and he's terrible. It's exposing some of these guys. So
yeah, it is.
It's not that we didn't really know that. Like, him and Angel have been one of the worst 2 home plate umpires for a while now. But
they're just old,
yeah.
man. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but
they've been around a long time.
That was crazy. But yeah, not too much else around the league right now. The crazy part with Dom Smith with Atlanta is that he was a call up because of Jerks and Profar's full year suspension of BEDs. So that would be interesting. But yeah, not too much else around the league. It's still early. I think a good benchmark will probably be around 30, 35 days, and then we'll see where we go from there. But yeah.
Yeah, slow start from Cal Raleigh too.
Yeah. We kind of figured that would probably be the case just in general from last year. So yeah. Again, first series, they'll continue to probably put some pressure on that, just considering how far they got last year. Yeah, they got other pieces though. They should be okay in the long run. They still got plenty of, production around him. But yeah.
All right. So we talked the probables. So we got Arizona and then St. Louis. All right, well, there's not much more to talk about. We're only 3 games into the season, so it's a little different than the normally we have 2 series to talk about going into the next week. So we won't extend it too much. What's your biggest thing that you're looking forward to going into the second series? Is it just pretty much getting the big 3 going: Carpenter, Torque, and Green?
Yeah, I think that's pretty well noted. I would think, to your point too, the defense, we've got 3 errors already, which is, we kind of were highlighting that out. We weren't a great fielding team the other year.
Yeah.
So that's kind of more emphasized with the pitching, because if the pitching's good, the defense kind of has to match it if the offense doesn't really kind of elevate to the next level. I mean, they can generally improve, but if they don't really become, a top 4 or 5 AL offense, like we kind of hope they would, that would come close to pitching, they could lead to some unfortunate losses that, frankly, we should have as wins. So that's just nitpicking here and there. But McConaughey so far looks good in the field at a couple different positions that he's been playing, and other than that, I think it's going to be some of the speed. Like Parker, game 2, threw a walk and promptly stole second base in the very next first 2 pitches. So he's got the only stolen base so far. Bierling weirdly is not playing as much. He got a pinch hit and a start. I'd like to see Bierling play a little bit more in that platoon spot out there with Parker, or just hey, let Bierling start, and then Park can come in as a late inning defensive replacement or a pinch runner, things like that. But yeah, those 3 guys, top of the lineup, getting on base, get Carey out of there, let him slide back into what he does best with runners on. And yeah, we'll go from there. But yeah, pitching as advertised, and I think that'll carry them for at least the first 30, 35 days. So yeah.
Yeah, and we'll see what the end of our rotation looks like, because Verlander and Mize didn't have great springs. So we'll see if Mize can kind of shake out of it. Obviously, he had an all-star season last year, at least in the first half. So yeah, Flaherty was shaky as he's been. I mean, I want to say he had him. Through the first 3 innings, he had a no-hitter going, which isn't really a no-hitter, but yeah, I mean, we really don't know what to expect from Flaherty. So, hopefully Verlander can get off on the right foot, as well as Mize in these next couple games. And we'll see who. Since Dingler's the only one that has a home run, we'll see who's the next one. Do you have a prediction of who you think the next home run will be?
Man, almost as much as I want to say McGonigal, I think if he does, it'll be on the road. I mean, yeah, right field is kind of short of Comerica, but coming back to the colder temperatures, the
Right.
ball may not fly as well for a guy that's not physically built like, Kerry O'Reilly, that can obviously, they have much more of that natural power swing. I'm gonna say Torkelson.
Okay.
He's got the ball in play a few times. Curry has yet, like you said, has yet to get a hit. But I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Curry also, his first hit is a home run, also to right field. But I'm gonna go with Torkelson. They're gonna be playing down in Arizona here, still some warmer areas. So Chase Field is not necessarily hitter friendly, but he's got the power to poke it out to left field out there. Maybe not to the pool in center field, but left field for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Green. I think that he'll, he's usually swinging for the fences, so I think he can get a hold of one. But yeah, I hope we don't make it all the way back to the Detroit before we. That will be bad. Because wait, we play in Saint. No, Saint. We play. So what we have?
We're at Arizona and then home for St. Louis.
Home for St. Louis. Okay. So yeah, So we better get a home run in Arizona before we get all the way back to Detroit. But yeah, my guess is Green and yours is Torque, which isn't a bad one. So we will see. Stay tuned. We'll likely possibly have some recaps up until opening day. But you'll certainly catch us every Sunday for review of the entire week. Subscribe to the channel. We're simulcasting on Bleachers to Speakers as well as Corner to Copa. And we'll see you guys soon.
Year 3, let's go.
It is year 3.
Get your lick back. If a nugget do something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat.